She says, hey, Mehran, my ex came back after 1.5 years. He has changed. What should I do? Well, I don't know what he was, and he's changed to what? From good to an asshole, from an asshole to a good, or from good to better, or from bad to good. So, it says, should I forget him? He left me for some girl 1 year back. Interesting. She was from a different religion and state. We were together for 6 years. Well, Sizra, you're leaving me in the dark a little bit. I got to know your age and I got to know your nationality, like, cultural background, where you're coming from, where you're watching this. So it helps me a little bit to understand that culture a little bit, at least to some extent. So if you can throw that in, it says, we both were of the same age and we started dating when we were 15 and now I'm 22. Uh-huh. Okay. Last year, things were toxic. Then he cheated and left me. So you were together since 15 years old, and you're now 22. And last year, he left you for some girl, cheated on you. And you're from India, age 22. Okay, now it's better. So, age 22 from India, young lady, and you had a boyfriend, had a relationship from 15 for 6 years, and he cheated. Now, I got to understand, when he left you, that means you were 21. When you say he cheated on you, what does that cheating in that context, in that age, in that neck of the wood, in that relationship means? Cheating, like what to what level of intimacy was your relationship at? Like, were you guys just courting, holding hands, and talking about marriage and love and this, or were you also full on making love and intimate and all that, so forth? So what kind of a cheating was that? Can you elaborate on that? I'll go to the next question. I'll come back to that. Caesar has come back with that. It says, he went out with some girl. There were no intimacy in our relationship. I believe it is only possible after marriage. He agreed to this as this himself, but then they both seeing each other. They basically had an intimate relationship. Okay, so look, so have you discussed with him why he's come back and what happened with that girl? Why is he not with that girl? Because you see, if he tells you that, oh, well, it didn't work out, and you say, well, why didn't it work out? Because obviously you had found something better, because ours wasn't enough for you, apparently. So you must have felt that that's not what you're looking for. Now, what was it that it seemed like the other one wasn't what you were looking for as well, or either? But having said all that, Sizra, she says she was from a different state. She's going back to her state. Ah, okay, that's very helpful. So he didn't come back to you. He actually doesn't have what she went to anymore. So he just doesn't want to be lonely or, not have anything, wants to come back. I think you got to think about this a little bit. But before that, I want to tell you about this little bit. At age 15, I don't know how it really works traditionally there, but I kind of have a guess. At age 15, you hardly know who you are. You hardly know what kind of expectation you have of the man that you're looking for. Every woman from childhood is thinking about the day of marriage or day of finding their, I don't know, shining armor or whatever it is, that person that is going to be sweeping them off of their feet. So, but for that, you need to know what kind of a man is it that you're looking for, what kind of qualities you want that man to have. At age 15, you have not enough knowledge about yourself, what kind of a woman you are, what you expect your life to be like. You just have seen it, heard it in stories, movies, and elderlies, how their life is, what you like, what you don't like, but you really don't go that far. You're full of emotions, and you are faced with the time of your life that you have excitement and interest to know a boy, to have a boyfriend, and he's excited to meet a girl, to have a girlfriend. So these feelings at that age is really just a natural biological feelings. It's not something in regards to knowing what you're looking for, because you know what you're all about, that you are expecting this kind of a lifestyle, this kind of a education, this kind of a job, this kind of a, things you like to do, activities, kind of family you want. You've got no knowledge of it. You're just reacting to what is naturally is coming to you. So, which means if you don't know yourself well enough at that point, you can't really know what kind of man you're looking for. So the kind of man, the kind of boy that you got into a relationship, and the kind of girl that you are, that you got in a relationship with this boy, in his mind, it was just a loving puppy love, a natural event of life. But it wasn't including all what you could expect from a partner, all what you want as a husband, and for him, all what he wants as a wife in you. So you cannot be sure that actually was the right choice for you or for him. At age 22, you still don't know really as much as you should know about yourself to make such decisions, whether take him back or choose somebody else. Even at this age, I don't believe you really can know enough about yourself and what path in life, what kind of job, what kind of education, what kind of activities, what kind of goals you want to achieve. None of that is known to you. Therefore, you don't know what kind of qualifications you want for the man that you want to get married to help you or to combine his abilities with you to bring all these plans and goals into fruition. So, my suggestion to you is move on. He's not coming back to you thinking that you're everything he wanted, because if he knew enough, then he would know it at that age before leaving you, whether you are perfect for him or not, whether he is already knowledgeable about himself to know what he's looking for or not. He didn't. So he left to someone else. And now he's coming back because that someone else is moving on to another city. So he's like a mosquito, goes here to have a little bit of a blood and go there to have a little bit of a thing. So in my opinion is that his reason for coming back is not necessarily you. It's him. He wants to not to be left alone. And naturally, compared to the fact that that girl left, you are someone important to him because you accompanied him for 5, 6 years. So he's coming back to his security. It feels good, it's safe, knows you, and that's convenient. Unless tradition says you guys got to get married right away or soon, I think you can just let it rest. Don't make any decisions. Go by your life. I don't know if you finish your university or not, if you finish your education, if you have a job. Pursue your career and see how really he has changed. How can you tell he's changed? He just came back and you've seen him maybe a couple of times, and suddenly you can see all the changes in 1 year. Give it time to see how it behaves with you and what your expectations of your desired man is at this age, 22, even though still you don't know enough of yourself to know exactly what you're looking for. So my opinion is make no decision. Just move along. Somebody better comes along, somebody interesting. You want to get to know them, see how that goes. This one staying behind and in the background, fine. If that didn't work out and he didn't find anybody either, you guys at that point maybe decide to reconsider each other. At this point, you're hurt and you just want to reclaim what was yours once. So you don't have a real good, legitimate reason to take him back other than your own ego that you want to satisfy that it was mine. So it's an opportunity to have what was mine and to prove to him that I'm going to mistreat him a little bit, give him shit so he can understand what he lost. Don't go through that. You can teach him by just not taking him back right now. Let him dangle a little bit and let him go through life. Maybe he finds somebody more suitable to him. Maybe you find somebody more suitable to you. But in the meantime, you guys grow a little bit. You guys get a little bit calmer about the whole situation. He will think it through and say, what a stupid thing it was. Or he needed to do that. Because a boy or a girl at that young age, they haven't had any experience with anybody else. They need to know what else is out there. Otherwise, they're always going to question themselves. oh, I married her, and you say, oh, you married him, and then, but I don't know what else was there. Maybe there was something better. These questions will linger. So might as well have a few, you know, um, simple relationships and figure out if you can compare, if you can understand and learn from different behaviors and how they treat you, then you can kind of optimize what you're looking for and shape that personality or persona of the expectations that you have for a real partner. So for now, just let him be there as a friend, but don't commit anything because and don't think that he's done something really terrible, because at that age the hormones are so much, and if traditionally you guys cannot have sex but yet you're together for 6 years, it's very frustrating for a boy, especially for a boy. Is at his prime of being a stallion, he wants to make love to some woman, can't do it with his own girlfriend because that's a tradition, so he finds someone who's willing. He's going to go for it because after all, we're animals. As much as we're supposedly civilized and cultured and listen to culture and customs, but the animal feeling of wanting to have intimacy, it's in the jungle, it's among all of us. That's why many people make decisions based on sexual interest rather than knowing if this girl or this boy are good enough for each other on consciousness level. So you can't blame him too much because that's how we are built. We want to have sex. And if we can't have it, that's a humongous force to reckon with. And we always lose most of the time unless we're committed to some woman at an older age, not at 15 or 16 or 17 or 18, where we have actually found who we are, what kind of woman we want, we'll be loyal, hopefully, to them. But at that age, that boy can be treated as a real adult because women have sexuality of a woman has so much power on us as young or old, regardless, that we really lose our heads. And let's say he lost his head, and rightfully so, because it's hard not to, especially at that age. You, on the other hand, obviously, I'm sure you also wanted to have sex, but traditionally and what you've morally been taught made you not to. Good for you. However, it works there. But the feeling is there. You can't act on it because your society and your rules and regulations are custom. But he could, and he did. Now, believe me, if you could also, without any member of the society or group frowning upon you, like it is in the West, you would have had many sexual experiences, which most women have all other places in the world, which that itself is neither good or bad. Not having it at all is bad, and having so much of it is also bad, because either way, it insensitizes you to certain commitment and certain criteria in your traditional or your mental state, and you think of this whole sex thing as a simple thing that is like, having candy and chewing gum and throwing it out. You can do it anytime, anywhere. There is no morality. That is what really loosens up the commitments that most people have today. In the old days, a sexual thing was an important thing, so people wouldn't separate, because that would mean they would have sex with some other people, and that whole scarcity of it or being frowned upon would keep them together. Nowadays, everybody does whatever they want, but in some traditional places like yours, women are more reserved still, which of course I value that highly, but to each his own. So, short and long is, he doesn't deserve the ultimate punishment at that age. He's still young, and he may still do it again if that's not going to be part of his life. And he may not tell you this time, but it's not necessarily considered betrayal. It's just a biological need of a man, and we can't stay aside until we get married. It's very difficult. It's like against every genetic code that we have. We are programmed for procreation. So we see a woman, we like her, it suits our aesthetics, expectations. We're going, like honing on, like a, I don't know, smart missile. It just finds, and cannot stop it. Now, we have learned to be able to stop it, but it's still very difficult, especially at his age. So don't kill him just because he's done that. At the same time, he needs to learn a lesson. So you meet other guys and let him also understand that he's done something not cool, but do understand that he was at the age that he can't be that wise or controlling his desires. Neither could you, but you're just a wonderful woman who adheres to her traditions, and that was your power. But, you know, he didn't. So I hope that helps you to make your decision. I can't make a decision for you, but I can just talk about it so you can make a decision for yourself. All right. Let's see. You guys know that I have a site, mindthatseekstruth.com. And you can always go on it, make an appointment for us to discuss what's concerning you one-on-one on Skype. I'll give you 1 minute break. I just warm up my tea. I'll be right back, guys. All right? Subscribe on my channel, visit my channel, and go through the videos that you might be interested in. Mindthatseekstruth.com is making it one step away to talk to me one-on-one on Skype and discuss what's concerning you. I'll talk to you soon.